How you doing? How you doing? No, how are you doing? Um, now, Sean Hannity has Kaylee McEnany, Little McEnany, the liberal media's DNC talking point about Hunter Biden. Here it is. The DNC. What is the DNC talking point? He's a painter now. He's a former addict, and we all should be accepting and supportive of people who have addictions and move on. I'm of course kidding. It's Joe Biden is a master criminal with dementia. He's an old man who can't tie his shoes and constantly talks out of his ass and can't finish a sentence. However, he runs a multinational crime syndicate that's playing 5D chess, something like that. Okay, so here we go. Let's see, shall we?
Now let's turn to the ongoing scandal surrounding Joe Biden and their corrupt syndicate family.
Syndicate. It's a syndicate. Say, somebody's got a syndicate in this silly place. Say, you can't just have that was a heck of a sibilance there, dude. I'm just saying. Hold on. Back me the fuck up. What?
Now let's turn to the ongoing scandal surrounding Joe Biden and their corrupt syndicate.
Okay, so scandal and syndicate. So apparently, Sean Hannity is auditioning to be for the part of the gopher in Winnie the Pooh cartoons. From this point, say, I heard you got a bear stuck in a hole.
Family business in 2020, then candidate Biden, as we have played on the show, repeatedly said over and over, unequivocally, that he never one time even communicated a single instance with his son about his foreign business partners.
His foreign business partners? Okay, what happened? Is Sean wearing one of those, like, alignment things? Did he chip his tooth and he has no idea how it's on a microscopic level has just added more air through this? Say, my mic is louder than the clips? Well, then I gotta turn that up. Turn it up. Is that freedom rock? Absolutely not.
Reality could be nothing further from the truth.
Yes, that's the big thing is reality. That's what Sean deals in.
In fact, Joe,
Well, that was weird.
Mexican business partners.
That was oh, it did that thing with the audio and the thing. It does that sometimes because it thinks I'm recording. So it tries to run interference. So I have to go in here to loop back audio, and I have to turn off Safari and back on, and then all of a sudden I'm innocent again.
Pictured together with Hunter's Kazakh business partners.
His Kazakh business partners. Yes, because that's the concern, is Kazakhstan, because they used to be under the puppet control of Putin, and they've been slipping away from that recently. It's almost as if every time the Bidens show up, Putin loses power. Huh. Oops, hold on 1 second.
Also pictured together with Hunter's Burisma business partner, Devin Archer, headed to jail. And Joe also authored 2 letters of recommendation for the children of Hunter's Chinese business partners. Now,
emails reveal. And where did these emails come from?
Hunter even lamented to one Mexican associate business.
Wait, Mexican associates? Say, this fella sure does know a lot about business. For somebody who doesn't know a lot about business.
Partner, that he hadn't received anything of value after bringing, quote, every single person you ever asked me to bring to the bleeping White House and the vice president's house and the inauguration.
So he tried to sell influence and didn't get anything for it, is the theory? I thought the idea was that he got the influence and he never even delivered. Where's this? Emily Crane, what? Emily Crane et al. Wednesday. Et al? What the fuck?
What did you expect in return, Hunter? And then email.
Well, apparently he didn't get it, so
Hunter also complained about giving half his salary to his
Yeah, this is the text message that's been around forever. Fuck.
father. A new report in the New York Post shows that Hunter even paid for the upkeep of Joe's home repairs and everything in between.
Why? Wait a minute. Of course he did, Sean. He's the bag man, right? Isn't that the whole fucking point? Right? Isn't he supposed to be the bag man for the family? The bag man doesn't get to keep the money. The bag man hands the bag over to the big guy. So of course obviously, clearly from all this, Hunter Biden has been engaged in massive criminal enterprises all over the world so that he can pay for a plumber on occasion. Frequently, I think is the phrase. Fucking hell. Why? Again, doesn't this eat into the Biden crime family narrative? I'm going to get him a plumber. He can't refuse. You show up to my house on the day of my wedding. You don't even bring ice cream. So, Charlie, go get me a... This is how Biden talks when he's at home. Charlie, go get me an ice cream cone. It's hot. It's a hot day. It's a hot day. So, Charlie, you come to me on the day of my son's announcement that he's dating his sister-in-law, and you don't even bring any ice cream. Soft serve. You're supposed to. It's your turn to bring the truck, Charlie. Charlie, you don't do it. I'm gonna ask one favor of you, Charlie. Outside, the pipe that goes, the part on the spigot that goes to the garden hose. Every time I go over there and I turn it on, Charlie, I get squirted in the face. I get squirted right in my face, Charlie. I can't have that. It's embarrassing. So I'm gonna need you to do me a favor, okay? And in exchange for this favor, I will schedule a meeting I never show up to. And this favor you'll do is you'll go out there, and I don't know if you have to tighten the cable or we need a new hose.
And meanwhile, tonight we're learning that a government watchdog is asking a U.S. attorney to investigate $54 million.
Okay, he's just saying S words to fuck with us now.
In donations from China to the University of Pennsylvania. Yep, the home of the Biden Center.
Yes, I'm certain that the $54 million in Chinese gifts donated to UPenn, home of the Biden Center. Were they for the Biden Center or just University of Pennsylvania? Obviously, they paid in panda shit, and this is where the ballots showed up. They were all stored in the basement of the University of Pennsylvania. Try and keep up.
Diplomacy and global engagement. That would basically mean kissing the ass of mullahs and dictators like Maduro in Venezuela.
What? Run that by me again. You did what now? You have to. So the Chinese give money to UPenn, and you have to what?
Basically mean kissing the ass of.
Oh, hold on. I get
China to the University of Pennsylvania. Yep, the home of the Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement. That would basically mean kissing the ass of mullahs and dictators like Maduro in Venezuela.
Why? Or it would mean the Chinese Center for Cultural Dance. That's, I don't know what the fuck. Why? So if anybody who donates to UPenn is on the hook for a campaign violation for giving money to Biden because it goes to the center there, you do realize you don't keep that shit. This dude's been hanging around Trump too long. Because seriously, if there was a Trump center at University of Pennsylvania, at Wharton or wherever, I guarantee every fucking dime would end up in Trump's pocket.
And it's a coincidence? I doubt it.
No, it's not a coincidence. It's wholly unrelated.
Here with more, the co-host of Outnumbered, Kayleigh McEnany, along with former White House Press Secretary Ari Fleischer.
Oh, good. 2 press secretaries. I'm glad we're getting experts in the field. At least they're not bringing on people who are in the business of selling right-wing messaging and have brought on experts in campaign finance and international affairs. You know, the kind of pundits that actually do shit. Also, Where's you couldn't get Sean Spicer? Dancing with the Stars is not coming back. I don't know why he's holding out for more money.
You know, Ari, I'm going to you first on this for one reason.
He's in alphabetical order, and she's not she doesn't like this, by the way. Like, as soon as you said that, fuck you. Hold on, wait.
You know the media.
Yeah, McEnany, you don't know the media, okay? I mean, you were just the most recent one, and what a dick thing to say. You know the media, because people who know the media don't show their fucking shoulders on television. Am I right? I mean, come on.
Once the Washington Post, what was it, a week and a half ago? The laptop is real.
No, it isn't.
They knew that the grand jury
No, they didn't.
been convened. They knew this information was coming out.
By the way, the grand jury convened about taxes and the FARA violation stuff. Wholly separate issue. Don't care. If they served a subpoena on Hunter Biden's financial documents and they're doing something on that, that has nothing to do with the laptop. And if they are predicated on the laptop, the idea of the laptop, which doesn't fucking exist, and the hard drive that has been passed around more than all right, I'm not gonna. There's so many untoward jokes coming into my head at one time. There's like a bum rush for the door.
Right. Knew it had already been validated.
No, it hadn't.
And this was their CYA. Let's try and get ahead of it so we can tell people.
Yes, this is the CYA formation. Don't think for a second that this is a man and his wife hugging his son on the day he became president. That's not what this was. This is them. This is the first huddle after he became president. Oh shit. Now we've got it. Now that I've been sworn in, I can control the narrative on your laptop. What laptop? Huh? Pop, there's no laptop. It's not mine. It doesn't exist. I didn't fucking go into this guy's place. You didn't? No. I gotta talk to that gardener again.
Oh no, we found out it's true after all.
No, it isn't. I already read the article. I went through it, and no, it isn't. And again, this is why the Washington Post can go fuck themselves, because Sean Hannity is running with this bullshit because he knows no one's going to read it. The headline says enough.
Right or wrong?
Sean, what does it tell you about the mainstream media's gut and instincts and judgment when they ran with the Steele dossier and they shunned everything that came out about the Hunter Biden story? They got it exactly.
And interesting choice here. They shunned everything that came out about the Hunter Biden story. First of all, story's doing a lot of lifting here. But notice he didn't say laptop.
Backwards. They should have shunned the Steele dossier if they had good guts and good instincts and ran after this story. But one thing here.
Well, why would they have to run after either? But again, the Steele dossier has not been debunked. It's just Christopher Steele working for Fusion GPS, hired by the Washington Free Beacon, who originally didn't want Trump to be the nominee. So they started looking for shit to drive him out. And then when he got it, they were like, fuck it, we're going to back him. We don't care. And then they sold it to Hillary Clinton. And they're like, we can't publish this. We're not going to do PP tape. We think we're going to win.
On the essence of this story. This is not about Hunter. And Republicans and conservatives need to stop talking about the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah, stop talking about it, because it doesn't fucking exist. By the way, I don't know that Sean is happy that he's being told this.
This is about Joe Biden's ethics and what Joe Biden has said.
Yes. We're of course going to question his ethics based on bullshit fabrications from a laptop, which we know doesn't exist, but we don't talk about the laptop. Let's talk about what came from it.
That is the issue, because the evidence that is produced on that laptop and
there is none.
The emails and the text shows that Joe Biden knew about his son's business dealings and lied
No, it doesn't.
about it to the American people.
Nope.
The text also showed that they commingled finances, that Hunter
No, it doesn't.
routinely paid for Joe Biden's bills, which
Yeah, he root fucking hell. He routinely paid, okay, your son's a millionaire, you're a public servant. I got news for you. If Hunter Biden was on a television series, and if you ask how I know, and let's just say his father worked for the state government and had a state government job, or had just left one, guess who's getting the first fucking phone call if there's a hole in the roof?
Joe Biden had a financial stake, a financial interest in his son's ability to make money, whatever the source was.
Well, then he didn't have to pay for his fucking bills. If he was getting a cut, he was getting a cut. Again, this is so fucking dumb. If either Hunter is the bag man, or he fucking well isn't. This is just, oh God. And you have to, like, they have still yet to sell me on this idea that Biden is anything but like a fairly well-to-do old politician who's been around for a while. Like, at this point, he's got less net worth than Bernie. So how, I mean, and again, what's he waiting for? Is the idea that, like, Biden's just hiding all this money so that he can go live the sweet life after he leaves office? The dude's, he's fucking old. There is no carpe diem in this.
This issue is about Joe Biden's behavior, morals, and ethics.
Yeah, not as long as they're not about yours, Ari.
Is what it's about, and this is why this needs to be investigated further.
Well, I think the fact, Kaylee, that he knew, that he lied, and he benefited, that means he was in on it.
Yes, he was in on it. He was in on choosing the plumber. He was probably there when the Angie's List account was, when someone signed up for it. He was probably there when the goddamn dog got his leash wrapped around the edge of the spigot outside and wrecked part of the lawn, and then they had to wait till the thaw to fix it, and then they'd forgotten about it because there was a bunch of birthday parties, and then they walk outside, there's a big wet spot in the lawn, and they didn't really notice it because of the changing foliage, and then the next thing you know, it's soggy and the grass is dying, and then you're in the basement, you know, trying to run a campaign and find a gardener who also does yard plumbing at the same time.
In other words, they were selling access to
a plumber,
White House, to the vice
List.
president, and everybody in between. And
everybody in between? No wonder Joe Biden seems exhausted.
He benefited financially from it. Now, if Joe Biden's last name was Trump, I kind of imagine a very different reaction in the media in this country.
Well, yeah, I mean, we would react very differently because we wouldn't be able to look at his fucking taxes and know the truth.
Certainly. And the media wouldn't be saying what they're saying now. There is a repetitive line, and oftentimes when there's a repetitive line in the media, it's like a DNC talking point.
Oh, yeah? So only DNC talking points are repeated over and over again. I see. Thank God the Republicans don't just concoct stupid fucking phrases like America first and just stick to that. All right.
Has manifested itself on the lips of every single liberal media anchor. Well, that line is this. Okay. Yes, Hunter Biden's laptop is real.
No. For the record, not everyone. For the record, the laptop is a forgery. It's fake. It's bullshit. The actual one doesn't exist, and the hard drives are bullshit. I'm calling that out. I've done it repeatedly. I don't buy it at all. Extraordinary claims, extraordinary evidence, Kaylee. Sorry. Not everyone. Not all. Hashtag not all.
Except it doesn't involve President Biden. That is always the caveat. Every piece that you read.
Yes, the imaginary laptop does not involve the real president of the United States.
Every segment.
Well, here's the difference. And this goes into, I did not have sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky, or sexual relations because blowjob isn't fucking. That was the weasel out on that argument. And please, by the way, have that discussion amongst yourselves. Is oral sex, or is there, Is and is that defined by you, your partner in your open relationship, or your own personal ethical line? Knock yourself out. Have that conversation. But saying, how's business, son? It's going pretty good. We're going over there. We got a deal in China. We're doing this kind of thing. Versus, Pop, I need you to be in on this with me. Those two types, those are two like very different conversations. One is the kind of conversation you have with your child about their life. The other is somebody you're coordinating something with. It's an important distinction, and there's a huge difference.
Also, the dinner at Cafe Milano with associates of Hunter. There's the fact that a client of Hunter says, I
the one that didn't happen?
Enjoyed meeting the vice president. The list goes on.
He said he enjoyed meeting him? Dear God. No one enjoys meeting Joe Biden. It's horrible. He sniffs your hair, and then he screams at you. I don't know why he has an Irish accent when he swears, but he does. He just F-bombs you and drives you out of the room. It's terrible.
Lately,
it's a terrifying encounter. Obviously, that person is lying.
The commingling of
the ice cream's nice. There is that. I hear. I've never met him.
There's a guy named Eric Sherwin.
Oh, there's no audio? The audio went away? Sound on Kaylee? I see it going out.
Head of Rosemont Seneca. That's the Chinese investment fund that Hunter was a part of. And
Rosemont Seneca is not a Chinese investment fund. That's the company that handled the Chinese investment fund and the mayor of Moscow's wife's, well, not ex-wife, because he was in the process of going to jail when she was doing stuff. All their deals, that was the business partnership. Wasn't it a Chinese investment firm?
The palatial lake house that was funded by Hunter in part, the upkeep. There was also a whole...
Funded by the palatial lake house?
Palatial lake house.
The palatial lake house? Hang on. Let's see. Pause for a second. Let me see if I can go back to this real quick. And then, let's see. Biden Lake House. Trying to bring something up, and I'll show you guys a second. Scene therapy. This is the palatial lake house, which I know to a lot of you will just look like a house on a lake. But understand, this is a palace, okay? This is, it keeps freezing, buffering. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me try and finagle this 1 second. Did my internet switch over? Do something funky? No. Came back. Now she sounds okay. It's back. You hear her? That's so odd. Okay. You can hear her? Okay. Got audio, but the buffering is so messed up. Sorry, guys. Just some lag? Okay. Let me see if I can remedy that in any way. I don't know that I can. I think it's because of that stuff. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Close this, close that, just so it's not looking for anything. Okay, the resolution's down, but that's okay. You drop that a bit, and hopefully it will smooth it out. Yeah. Okay, I'll close that. Maybe that'll help because I'm not borrowing it. How everyone is buffering, adjust your bit rate. I don't know that I can on this software when I'm actually doing it. So, anyways, let's give me 1 second. Let me see. Maybe I can do it live. I doubt it, but let's see. I will try. I'm gonna make an attempt. It's pretty low. I'm just using the minor part of it. So sorry guys, it might be the internet where I am. And then right. Mm-hmm. All right, there we go. Trying to fix some of it, if you can. Yeah, it's very palatial. This is it. This is it. That's the Biden lake house that he helped pay for the plumber on, apparently. Mm-hmm. Yes, Hunter Biden's laptop made Disney woke and gay. It happened sooner. You were coming in over at 540 in Twitch. Yeah, that's what I'm doing coming out of here just because of the quality of what's available. Let me... I don't know that it'll be any better. This is the best I can do today. I apologize, guys. For some reason, the plug-in internet is being wonky, and I don't doubt that somebody unplugged something. So that's my I will be back home tomorrow, so work with me. That's the Fellatio Lake House. It totally is. Okay, so where are we? Is this one? Yeah. So that's the palatial house, just in case.
That was funded by Hunter in part. The upkeep. There was all.
And yes, this was funded by Hunter in part. The upkeep. Funded in part by him, and the upkeep in part by him. I don't know how much, but whatever. But she's got notes, so we'll get to that in a moment.
A whole list of, quote, JRB bills, Sean, Joseph Robinette Biden bills. That's what that stands for. And it lists them out from shutters, and the list goes on and on. Some of those were reimbursed by the vice president, but the...
Fuck you. What? Run that. Shutters? I'm willing to sell out my family and my country to the worst of the worst in the world. But I'm gonna need something in return. I'm gonna need some doilies and some shutters. And I'm gonna need you, China, to put a dormer in with weather-sealed windows for free. Well, I'll pay it back later, but you're going to have to...
Out from shutters, and the list goes on and on. Some of those were reimbursed by the vice...
Fucking Jesus Christ. Some of those were reimbursed. After it, what? So he gave away influence just for a temporary loan for shutters? Get the fuck out of here.
But the point is, it is beyond logic, in my view, that the former vice president did not know or never spoke to his son, Hunter Biden. There are at least...
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Kaylee. I don't think that Joe Biden doesn't know his son.
13 data points that suggest otherwise.
Where does this go, Ari Fleischer? And
nowhere.
If it really...
If this is true... And there were shutters paid for by Hunter Biden and repaid by his dad during the time that... What?
Really have authenticated the laptop.
What did they do to the laptop?
If they really have authenticated the...
Authenticated it. If they... What do you mean if? What do you mean if, motherfucker?
And if they really have authenticated the laptop, Joe is implicated. But I believe Joe implicated himself.
Yeah, look at this. If they authenticated the laptop, then Joe is implicated. But I think he implicated himself by saying that he didn't talk about his son's business, even though he obviously knew what his son did for a living, which is the same thing.
Said he leveraged $1 billion taxpayer dollars to get a prosecutor in Ukraine fired.
On behalf of the Obama administration and all of Congress and the EU and the fucking NATO forces. They all wanted that fucker gone. Oh, God. Let me guess. He was caught on tape saying it?
So that the investigation into his son that had
what investigation?
Zero experience but was paid millions ended.
Yeah, he was a shepherd for investments. And by the way, it worked. I don't know if you noticed, but before Hunter Biden and Burisma fucked, Ukraine fucked. After Hunter Biden worked for Burisma, Ukraine gets better. Ukraine has improved since, as at almost the exact pivot point. It's almost as if, and I know you're going to think this is crazy, that even when they're cracked out of their skulls, the Bidens are a plus.
So I thought he should have been investigated for that.
Well, nobody gives a fuck what you think, Sean. Honestly. Ari and Kaylee are trying desperately to give a shit.
The real quid pro quo with Joe.
Well, there are two tracks for where it could go. One is judicial, and of course, Hunter Biden is currently under investigation for tax evasion and other
Yeah, and he already paid the taxes. It's not going to even fucking
potential
happen.
crimes from a Delaware grand jury. That's the most serious because that could show up evidence that could embarrass or involve the president.
The president.
Track is the public track.
Yeah, the public relations thing. Like, obviously, this isn't going fucking anywhere. But if we keep harping on this and pretending it's real, maybe we can do some damage between now and the midterms. I hope so, even though Joe's not running, and this has nothing to fucking do with him. But, we can try. We can do our best. This is all we got, guys. What are we going to talk about? Herschel Walker?
I hate to tell you, Sean, but America is so divided. If you're a liberal, if you're a Democrat, you go to sources and you see sources that aren't telling you everything about this story.
No, actually, a lot of liberals watch my show, and they know exactly what's going on with this because I look at this bullshit unflinchingly, and that's why I'm the only person who's covered this honestly. That's why I'm the only person who's called this bullshit out, because I looked at all of it, just like the Mike Lindell bullshit. No, everybody's like, they didn't even look at the rigged stuff. They won't even look at. I looked at all the evidence. I've looked at all of it. I've looked at it live on the air.
So you don't think Joe Biden, the president, has an ethical problem? If you're a conservative and you watch conservative sources, you know all about it because it's being fully and properly reported.
Fully and properly reported. Is it? Is it? I guess we got to give Sean Hannity credit for saying if they've substantiated the Hunter Biden laptop. Because he knows it ain't. It's been 2 fucking years.
So America is split. America is divided, and I hate
No, we're not.
that. But that is the reality of the
Bullshit. The media wings are divided because that's their job to be divided. Just like the fucking Washington Generals and the Pittsburgh Steelers are divided.
media coverage where the left-wing media, the mainstream media, suppresses news that they don't want the public to see.
No. I suppress nothing. As a matter of fact, I confront it more directly than anybody, and I will debate anybody about it. And I will defend a lot of what you consider the left-wing media for not covering the story because it fundamentally is bullshit.
And that's what's keeping Joe Biden propelled in office.
Propelled in office? I didn't realize he had a propeller. That's great. I always thought he just wore fins.
He just said is a scary truth that is a reality. Do you see this?
All right. Enough with the sibilance. Fuck's sake. Is somebody messing with me? It's like nails on a chalkboard.
To the White House.
Fucking White House. Jesus.
The president of the
States. What's going on? What is going? What? Say, somebody's got Hunter Biden's laptop stuck in a hole. Something's gonna have to, but we'll have to do it after lunch because I've got a sandwich and some sausages.
relates to these business dealings.
These business dealings. Jesus Christ. How do you hit every S?
Kaylee.
I think so. Look, the grand jury, at least witnesses, have already been asked who is the big guy. We know Tony Bobulinski said
No, they haven't.
on this network, the big guy is President Joe Biden. I think these questions are going to be asked.
Is this, are they giving her playoff music?
The post story that you reference is a bombshell. I cannot see a situation where the witnesses in
Biden repeatedly claimed he didn't talk to Hunter about foreign dealings, but evidence tells different story. No. Well, if you're talking about the alleged laptop, the hard drive, honest to God, if Hunter Biden and Joe Biden were part of an international crime ring, and you got them dead to rights because you have the evidence from the laptop, and you've got it, and you've got that hard drive in your hands, none of it would be admissible in court. That's why they're not even trying. That's why they're going on this whole, like, he's done it in public. He's, it's the public relations that he's got to deal with. There is no way that this hard drive that had files added to it after it was copied and turned over to Rudy's attorney, all that shit, is going to make its way into a court of law, and some first-year law student isn't going to go, Your Honor, we don't know where the fuck this thing came from. We know for a fact that the Russians were shopping a hard drive like this in Ukraine while Rudy Giuliani was there, and he's magically got the one, and the guy who found the hard drive and made the initial copies and says he tracked all these files over himself, says files have been added since, and doesn't recognize Hunter Biden as the person who came in, can't name the FBI agents who came up and picked up the original laptop, which they said they were going to bring back to him. Like, the story's garbage. And anything that was found related to anything that's in these files is fruit of the poison tree. You're right. Click. Gone. Like, it's just goofy.
Delaware DA's office are not asked those questions.
Wait a minute. The Delaware, there's no way they what?
You reference is a bombshell. I cannot see a situation where the witnesses in the Delaware DA's office are not asked.
The witnesses in the Delaware DA's office. I mean, moved to dismiss on the grounds that there's no evidentiary linkage between the hard drive that you have a copy of and my client. You can't go on a fishing expedition on what we consider stolen property if you stole files from other computers and put them on this thing and then mix them with fake evidence, and it's not up to us to argue which is real and which is fake and do your fucking job for you. You have no way of knowing where this thing has been in the last 3 years, and the people who've been handling it are all political enemies of the father of the person in question. Nope, there is no... oh, God.
Those questions.
What did Joe know, and when did Joe know it?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think that's a fair question at this
Oh, God. What do you know, and when are you going to admit you don't know it?
point. Thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Anyway, so that's the current state of affairs in that argument. And you can see how quickly they are moving away from reality on it. Like, they can't even address it. They can't even pretend that there's a there. Eric Bolling, in his interview that I covered with McIsaac, the guy who owns the Mac repair place, and I swear to God, it's like the guy only went into Macs instead of PCs because his name is McIsaac and he's Scottish and he likes to wear a beret to work. And then Eric Bolling's interview with Maxey, who's the guy who's shopping this bullshit hard drive everywhere. We dealt with this. Even Eric Bolling talking directly to those guys, and these guys are just referencing it, cannot say, well, we've confirmed this, like, any more than the Washington Post can.